In this tutorial, we will be demonstrating how easy it is to manage removable storage within your virtual desktop environment using the VDI ToolKit. So what types of removable storage does it support? It supports optical drives, floppy drives, removable disks, tape drives, Windows portable devices, which are items such as like phones or MP3 players, things like that. And it also supports custom class devices. So what are those? It allows you to use the class GUID of a device that does not fit the previous items that we discussed. Okay, so what control do you have over these devices? You can deny execute access, you can deny read access, you can deny write access, or you can do any combination thereof, like deny them all, or maybe just allow write but not read, things like that. Please note, though, that denying execute access is not supported for custom class and Windows portable devices. So why use the VDI toolkit to manage this? Well, one, it's simpler than things like group policy, and it's also more virtual desktop aware. And what do we mean by that? Well, the rules engine makes it easier for edge case scenarios. And this allows you to create rules based off of any VDI session variables such as client, virtual desktop, user, or whether the session is internal or external, just to name a few. So up next, we will demonstrate how to use the VDI toolkit to manage removable storage. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So first what we'll want to do is go ahead and open up the management console. And I have that running on a virtual desktop here. I'll go ahead and open it. All right, once open, I'm gonna go ahead and expand this. And what we want to do is navigate to rules, rule items, and then removable storage. So once here, we can see we have no removable storage permission rule items. So let's go ahead and add some. So I'll go ahead and give it a name, description, and choose the type and what we want to do, whether it's deny, execute, read, or write, or whatnot. Okay, for type, I'll go ahead and select removable disk, and I will deny all these and go ahead and hit add. And we can do a search and see. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and take, and I am going to do an allow. I'll leave those no. Go ahead and hit add and search. Okay, we got that. So I have those items there. So now let's go ahead and do some testing. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and now navigate to rules, session rules, and removable storage. As we can see, we don't have any. So I'll go ahead and create a rule. The first rule I'm going to create is a one that'll be linked to the deny, and it's going to just be the default. So I'm going to set as a global rule so it applies to all sessions. I'll give it a name and description. And then I'll go ahead and check global rule for this one. So I'll go ahead and hit add. And once I hit add, it will open up the rule edit window. I can go ahead and go to configuration, and now I can add my rule item. And you can add multiple. But so what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to go ahead and add the deny all. And I'll go ahead and hit update. And I can do a search afterwards, and we can see that that rule is set. So that's good to go. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and log into a virtual desktop and see that that rule applied. So I'll go ahead and minimize this, and I'm going to log into a virtual desktop. Let's see. All right, once logged into the desktop, we can go ahead and see that that rule applied. So I can come here and I can go to the client and left click on it. And then I can navigate to rules and expand session modification rules and scroll down and expand removable storage rules. And as we can see, we have our rule here. And if I highlight my mouse over, it'll give us the rule details. And if I expand the rule, I can see the individual rule items underneath. And then if I put my mouse over it, I can also see the details of that. So we can see that this is set to deny, execute, read, and write for removable disk. Okay. So what I want to show next is I want to go ahead and get out of this virtual desktop session and navigate back to the management console. And I'm going to go ahead and create another rule. And this time it's going to be to allow, but I'm going to say maybe for this particular user that I'm logging in with. So I'll go ahead and create a rule and give it a name and a description. And this time I'm not going to check global rule because I want it to only apply to the user that I'm logging in with. I'll go ahead and hit add. You'll notice now, since it's not a global rule, it's given us an opportunity to add qualifiers. Please note, for more information on rule qualifiers and how all that works, please watch the video tutorial on rules. So I'll go ahead and I'll just add a qualifier here, and I'll add the user that I've been logging in with. And that's this one right here. I'll come to configuration. I'll go ahead and hit the allow all. And now what I need to do too is I need to make sure that the rule that I want to override the other has a higher weight. So the default rule that we created was a weight of 0. So we can just go ahead and create this rule with a weight of 1, and that way it overrides the existing rule. So I'll go ahead and hit update. And I can do a search, and we can see we have that other rule now. So now what we'll want to do is go ahead and log back into a virtual desktop, and we'll want to see what rule took precedence just to make sure that that's working how it's supposed to. So let's go ahead. All right. And all right, once logged in, let's go ahead and navigate back to the client. I'll go ahead and open that, and I'll go to rules. I'll expand session modification rules. Oops. And removable storage rules. And we'll see we have both, and the allow is above because it's a higher weight. I'm going to expand that one, and we can see here that that one is the applied rule for removable disk. And if I expand the deny all, we'll see that it was not applied. And if we take and highlight our mouse over it, it'll tell us that there's a higher weight rule that already takes precedence. I hope you found this tutorial useful, and thank you.